Hey guys, I am recording this video while sitting on my floor because sometimes I work sitting on my floor. I have a coffee table that's at a nice level for putting my laptop on, and I can get work on it here, so you get to see my lovely couch and part of my kitchen behind me right now. So I was able to get back to work some today. I went through the text and added the action steps, or as I'm calling them, considerations, at the end of each of the 7 chapters, and that's something I've actually been meaning to do for a number of days, and I hadn't been able to get around to it given everything that happened over the weekend and with Thunder passing and so on. But it's somewhat fitting that as I'm taking baby steps to move forward with my life, I write down some action steps to go with the chapters of this book. So basically the process I did for that was I went through the chapter and I found basically 7 questions for each chapter. There's a lot of 7s in this book. Excuse me. 7 questions for each chapter that basically asked, what are you getting out of this chapter? What are you going to do now that you have read it? Let me give you an example here, actually. This example is from the chapter 6, which is about desperate shortcuts. And so the considerations for that chapter are, what's an emergency that you're dealing with right now or dealt with recently that could have been prevented if you'd handled it as an issue 6 months ago? Why didn't you handle it? What could you have done then that you didn't do? Second consideration, what are some issues, problems, or crises right now that you could head off before they become emergencies? 3, what difficult conversations are coming up that you know you need to have, but really don't want to have? And what can you do to make sure you have them now rather than after a meltdown? 4, if these problems had external causes or factors, what have you personally done to get yourself or your business into dire straits? And what personal work might you need to do to prevent it happening again? 5, what shortcuts have you taken recently that might be contributing to a desperate situation now, and how can you avoid or replace them going forward? 6, is leaving issues to grow into emergencies and handling them at the last minute a habit or trend for your business, and how has repeatedly doing that affected your success? And 7, what can you start doing now to avoid the need for shortcuts in 6 to 12 months? So these play off of and are drawn from the different points in material that are discussed and examined in each chapter, and they're designed so that the reader can do a little bit of soul searching and do some analysis and sort of an awareness check of how, if at all, does this particular chapter or this particular type of shortcut apply to them, and what can they do about it? So this is enabling the book to go from just, hey, this is James's theory of why things are happening, to, hey, I'm the reader and I can actually relate to some of what's going on here because I'm going to stop and think about it. And I'm actually going to work with my designer to make these like a worksheet at the end of every chapter, not just a list of questions, but like you can write in the book and say, okay, I'm going to write a few lines on this shortcut here and I can come back to it later, kind of thing. So that, will encourage the reader to have a more personalized experience with the book and to engage with it a little bit more. So I think that's going to be a good thing, and I'm glad that I was able to work on it today. Tomorrow, or I guess later today, since it's like 1:30 in the morning right now, I have some more client work to do. The one big piece that I have left on this book before I start getting into editing and everything else is the bonus chapter, and that's not an immediate thing that I need, but it's something that I need sooner rather than later, and I think that's something that I'm going to try and make sure I get to this week. So that's what's going on with me. Thank you for bearing with me over the last couple of days as I dealt with my couple days of bereavement and not wanting to get anything done. Hopefully I'm going to be back on track to get more work in this going forward and continue with my consistency. So thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.